Welcome. In today's teaching, we are going to confront something that was a serious problem in Corinth and is still a serious problem in Christianity today: boasting in men. The Apostle Paul reminds us that true servants of Christ are not elevated celebrities, charismatic leaders, or honored figures of the world. They're stewards and often spectacles. In 1 Corinthians chapter 4, Paul pulls back the curtain and shows us what faithful service in this dispensation of grace actually looks like: weakness instead of applause, suffering instead of status, and faithfulness instead of fame. This is not a feel-good message, but it is a truthful one. So, let's set aside pride, fleshly thinking, and religious expectations, and look carefully at what it really means to be fools for Christ's sake. Made a spectacle and fools for Christ's sake. Paul has addressed the Corinthian problem of boasting in men in whom they followed, pointing out such are to be ministers of Christ and stewards of the mysteries. And further, Paul has revealed that believers need learn in us not to think of men above that which is written, that no one of you be puffed up for one against another. Paul now continues with just a hint of sarcasm. For I think that God hath set forth us the apostles last, as it were appointed to death, for we are made a spectacle unto the world, and to angels, and to men. We are fools for Christ's sake, but ye are wise in Christ. We are weak, but ye are strong. Ye are honorable, but we are despised. Even unto this present hour we both hunger and thirst, and are naked, and are buffeted, and have no certain dwelling place. And labor, working with our own hands. Being reviled, we bless. Being persecuted, we suffer it. Being defamed, we entreat. We are made as the filth of the world, and are the offcouring of all things unto this day. 1 Corinthians 4 verses 9 to 13. Let's look more closely at this. Paul introduces his topic, noting, "For I think that God hath set forth us the apostles last." While the Corinthians thought themselves something for whom they followed, Paul, the one they should have been following, points out that, for true apostles, it is more like God set them forth last. Paul says it is even more like he and those apostles that Paul had raised up and taught. We're appointed to death, for we are made a spectacle unto the world, and to angels, and to men. So, far from how the Corinthians were acting, was the reality of the life of one who lived knowing it is required in stewards that a man be found faithful, 1 Corinthians 4 verse 2, as Paul had already taught. In fact, the life of the apostles who were teaching and preaching Christ according to the revelation of the mystery was quite different than the Corinthians were thinking themselves, example, as wise, strong, or honorable. For true apostles of grace, life instead included quite the opposite, example, fools for Christ's sake, weak, despised, hunger, thirst, naked, buffeted, and they had no certain dwelling place, and labor. Also, they didn't draw an apostle's salary, but instead worked with our own hands, and were rewarded by being reviled, to which, Paul said, we bless, being persecuted, to which we suffer it, and being defamed, to which we entreat. Summing it up, Paul says, we are made as the filth of the world, and are the offcouring of all things unto this day. Contrasting this with the haughtiness of attitude which the Corinthians were demonstrating as they chose not to faithfully follow the apostle, Paul, that God had appointed them. All in all, this apostle of grace life didn't sound like a great deal, and Paul used this to show the Corinthians their own behavior in correct light. Believer, in this dispensation of the grace of God, a haughty spirit pertaining to men that you may follow serves only to gratify the flesh. Instead, recognize that the faithful who serve are often made spectacles, fools, and objects of scorn instead of kingly leaders. As we close, remember this: faithfulness in this dispensation of grace does not look like success according to the world. The Apostle Paul shows us that those who truly serve Christ are often misunderstood, despised, and treated as nothing, yet they are approved by God. A haughty spirit that exalts men only gratifies the flesh, but humility that follows sound doctrine honors the Lord. Don't measure ministry by applause, titles, or popularity. Measure it by faithfulness to the revelation given to the Apostle Paul for us today. May we be content to be fools for Christ's sake, stewards of his mysteries, and servants found faithful. Grace and peace.